Our next presenter today is Maximilian Scott, a master's student in earth sciences. His thesis title is Face Off, a review of cranial pathologies in mosasaurs with implications for sexual selection, thermoregulation, and ecology.
Let's go on a little field trip together, huh? You can stay in your seats, though. We're going to go back in time, not through space, about 84 million years ago to the late Cretaceous period. I hope you all know how to swim, because now we're underwater. Welcome to the Western Interior Seaway, a vast inland sea that covered the interior of the North American continent, all the way from the Gulf of Mexico up to the Arctic Ocean. Within this seaway was a very, very, very large lizard. You might have heard of mosasaurs if you've seen Jurassic World. Imagine basically a 13-meter Komodo dragon with flippers for arms. You can also imagine that an animal that big and that carnivorous might not always be nice to its contemporaries. And as it turns out, we have evidence of that. So mosasaur skulls actually have quite a lot of scarring from each other, presumably, and we can actually match those scars up with other members of the same species. So a lot of animals today do this, such as Komodo dragons and other reptiles. It's actually more common in mammals, though. The interesting thing about mosasaurs is, as it turns out, they might have been warm-blooded, according to isotopic data, which is one of the things that I will be looking at in my thesis is how their bones healed. So if you look at this bottom figure here, you'll actually see a few different types of bone lesions that I would be looking at, a cartoon depiction, of course. And these bone lesions will appear in such a way that indicates to me how they were healing. You see, cold-blooded reptiles heal a little bit different than warm-blooded mammals and birds. A lot slower, sometimes a lot more incomplete. But when we heal, we actually develop a much more scarred sort of disposition, but this is because that we heal so quickly, whereas when reptiles take their time, they heal much more slowly. And so these scars on the mosasaur skulls actually might indicate to me that they might have been warm-blooded as well, kind of supporting that isotopic data. Why does this matter? Well, so why would we study animal behavior at all? Well, we want to understand animals because animals are under threat right now. That's not any kind of secret. It's our fault. We are in a mass extinction. And an understanding of how animal behavior evolves is terribly important for how we're going to predict, how we can protect animals as they face new challenges that they have not faced at any point through natural history. And so if we can predict that, we can predict what animals are going to do to each other. We can predict how animals are going to compete. This is a competition behavior that I'm studying in particular. We can predict how animals are going to breed, how they're going to be more aggressive when they breed. You know, when things are scarce, things become more aggressive. And when an animal like a reptile becomes too aggressive, it might be killing too many of its friends, and then now you've got an animal being a threat to itself. And so all throughout, oh, I am out of time, sorry.
Thank you, Maximilian.